Hey, can you hear me? Check, 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 check. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm on a vacation here. Let's see if this works. Let's get this inside of social media here. All right. So let's look at the market real quick. Make sure the app is working. Go through some of the new features for y'all. I am on vacation. I am sitting in a closet because there is no table and the internet's a little spotty. So it's going to sound weird and probably cut out. But if I cut out, I still love you guys. I'm going back to bed. We still gonna wake up and make sure that market's going right. All right, let me make sure everything's looking good here. All right, can y'all hear me? Check, check. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Good morning. So the app's actually working too, which is good. Not actually working. App's always working, but we had data outage yesterday from our provider, so it's double checking, make sure everything looks good there. SPY did gap up. Geez, we're up like 80 something points, I think. Let me double check. Doomsday really quick. We're out the door. So it looks like we have like 1, 2, 3 days up, which is decent. Market is opening way outside of the irrationality realm. So I mean rationality world. So we are opening probably 70 points higher, even selling off a little bit. We've opened outside of the risk interval bands, which is very rational for the market. You can double check on VIX today. So let's run our numbers in Rocket Scooter. Just get some numbers really quick. Let's make sure everybody's here. Here. Okay, let's take a look. It's BLD on SPY. So if you guys take a look at the playbook on that, BLD has this. We open, hedge pressure, open. There's a V-shaped move that I like. So here, that opening price off of monthly, back to opening price is a trade for today. Looking at that, making sure resilience is greater than 0, which it is, which is all right. Half gap is support. Monthly is pushing slightly below 0, so that implies that this could possibly break, so be careful today on a 372.5 break. If that monthly resilience is less than 0, then don't expect it to break. But I'm long in, I'm long the market, but I'm longing more. Like I said, I've been long. I posted some of my stuff. JP, I have a bunch of swing options I've been in for a while. You guys know it's the same positions I've had. JP, Apple, and SPY. Had those guys for a little over a week as I was prepping for the bottom. I made a tweet calling a bottom. Me and my bold predictions lately this year have been true on just about all of my bigger ones. And I don't like to go out there and Babe Ruth and point defense too much, but this one was pretty obvious. The stream yesterday details a lot about the thesis I have. It's just in short, market's too liquid to crash. Community of traders will show you that. It's part of the post I made. In second, the market makers holding the majority of the bag since we've been selling them. You can see the positional risk are not necessarily going to crash the market while they're holding the bag. We had a mixed bag of earnings, of course, and banking was one of the sectors that rallied the hardest and squeezed out after earnings. So it's a sign of things to come. Banking is one of the most sensitive sectors to the inflationary environment and rate hikes. It's still doing okay. So a lot of signs are pointing up, and of course the seasonal unemployment numbers are they are trending with the market as we get upticks in unemployment filings. You see that shorts have been covering historically for the entire year. That's just because Wall Street is trying to forecast a weakening jobs market to correlate with Powell's possibility of becoming less hawkish on his policies. So the only thing to talk about is preserving the labor market. So when the labor market starts to kind of you get this kind of upticks in unemployment filings, you see the market rallying accordingly. So we call it the bad news is good news philosophy. I made a tweet yesterday. I got a lot of love. So if you guys are here, I got a bunch of retweets yesterday. I pinned it to the top of my profile. I want everybody to feel free to go and check it out. If you want to go see it, it has a little bit more of my thesis in it. But essentially, for the last 2 weeks, I have been prepping for a bottom in the market, but not just a bottom, but a bottom that will last for the rest of the year. It will take, as I did some calculations, for the rate at which we are able to, basically I took the buying and selling imbalance between the money managers and the hedge funds on the community traders. I took the rate, doubled the rate, looked at the net imbalance, and then try to deplete that from the net long of the market makers number, and then calculate it had some fat to it, still takes at least 6 months for them to redistribute and go negative. So markets will crash until there's positive. It's at least 6 months till they are at this current rate. There's no big catalyst that come out throughout the year except for earnings to really jolt that rate up. So what I'm saying is that we are likely going to be in a state where there's just no mechanic for the market to sell off because there's nobody long enough to sell that hard. And it will take about to the summer for, then the community of traders is such a cool report. I ran these numbers in a spreadsheet. I'll share it with the lifetimers or something later. But just the dealers are long enough for them to go negative. It's going to take plenty of time. So the market's just going to kind of, like, in my opinion, lollygag up. Just going to just kind of chill. The sky's not going to fall till end of first quarter, summer next year. So we're kind of in a really interesting spot. Market can be nice and positive. So BSU on so the algorithm Rocket Scooter, and we'll go over some of the stuff really quick. It's your first time here, feel free to follow along. You can go grab our trading platform right here, front and center. You can go here. Thank you. Happy birthday. My birthday is not until this weekend, but it's a week-long celebration. I forgot what day my birthday is. It's Saturday? Yes, it is Saturday. Thank you, guys. BSU. BSU shows liquidity map on this particular side. So lowest call wall in the zone is support. Back to the halfway point between. This is an interesting one. If you've never seen it, this line kind of direction. You take the halfway point between hedge pressure, the lowest call on the zone in the middle. So 274 to 280 makes 277 a retracement. So today, this pathway is part of a trade. So there's a pretend I was shorting because Qs are in bear structure. I would only potentially short to 274, and I would be a bull at 274 to trade back up to the middle of that range. I would stop one strike distance below at 273, which I actually am thinking about maybe doing, but not on QQQ, but I'll by proxy trade something else because the indexes are going to probably consolidate tonight or today, but up at the top. But I don't think it's cap off and sell from here. If you look, you have this resilience number is the one thing to take note of. If this white number is above 0, then half gap is support. So when I get here and I want to long the market, I'm going to make sure that half gap isn't below 0. If this guy goes below 0, then there's a possibility that this fills the gap, and that's a really big run to the downside. So just keep in mind 273 to 276.5. That's almost about a 271 drop. So you'd be like way down here. Good morning. What's up, guys? Okay. Yeah. So the jobless claims numbers right here. These are numbers we talk about. There, you get a little bit of granularity. You get a once a week data point as opposed to non-farms as much a month. But you'll see that when you get that seasonal unemployment, right? The market dips and rallies a little bit. You get some short covering, which is nice because people are going to bet that if the unemployment starts going up, that you're not going to be really short the market because in the short term, that's going to be Powell flipping the handle the other way, and that's exactly how you know the recession is induced by the Fed's activities in QT. One second. And so that's what it is. That's why that bad news is good news philosophy is there. So in reality, you're just going to wait and see. One second. Oops. Okay. in general. Okay, so let's look at VIX really quick and go over some of the new rocket scooter scanner features. This is really awesome because we have a bunch of new ones coming up. It came out. So the internet might be a little spotty here, so just bear with me. Is QQQ resilience bug? It shouldn't be. It is what it is. If you come here and you click this number, it'll tell you we should be fine on the resilience. So we have all the data coming through. It could just be maybe reset your platform, or if it is what it is. But let me take a look. Okay, let's go over some of the new features really quick, and then I'll call it a morning. Is QQQ resilience bug? Yeah, just refresh. It's moving. It could just be it. Okay. So this is that resistance pivot on VIX. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll look at a thing here. Okay. So we have some patch notes that came out. I'm going to cover these really quickly because here. And by the way, everyone, go down really quick and like the stream. I got up on my birthday week. About to go hiking today, but I'm going to jump in here for a couple minutes to walk you guys through the new rocket scooter platform releases and a couple other things. So like that stream, leave a comment. Spies and MHP now. Okay, I'm going to go over a few of the features. Okay, we have some patch notes that came out. I want you guys to see this. Oops. Okay, get the Discord really quick. I was meaning to do this yesterday, but we had our data providers actually, for our options data feeds, a massive crash. Not them, but they're like, they said something. I posted it in announcements. So in the patch notes, take a look here. What we have is a brand new versions 2.3.0. We have massive amounts of strategies, and you guys will be extremely happy about this. So let me show you. And you guys are super pumped. There's so much flexibility now in the scanner, and we almost have most of the strategies out. So everybody, if you're here, there's a thumbs up button below the stream. Go down there, give it a click, give us some love, and we love you. So patch notes here first and foremost, right? We have new strategy functions. You can come in here, and new parameters. So parameters will be auto enabled. So add a new subtitle for additional information in the scanner. So an example is like distance hedge pressure, distance monthly hedge pressure. It'll tell you the units below. It says cash. This is absolute. So the inputs are the same, right? If we want to search for, yo, what's up, Fiddy? Thanks, bud. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so I want to search for, like, for instance, we're going to go to SPY. Okay. To show you how the scanner works. This is badass, and I'm excited. And we also met yesterday. Oh, there's that bounce at SPY. So there's MHP to the opening. That's the trade today. I'll show you guys pictures of my trade. Don't worry. It's just I only have one monitor and one screen, so I was scrambling to get set up. My mobile setup, I got all this stuff so I can travel and stream, but I left some of it at home, and I'm just kind of like winging on my laptop today. J&J BLE, what's up, Sandy? Good morning. How are you today? All right. Yeah, so things are pretty decent. I think that market's looking okay. MHP to open with MHP results negative. Oh, my battery's running low. Hold on. Oh, let's get that. There it is. Hold on, you guys. My laptop needs to be plugged in. Well, this will only be about like a 30-minute long stream for you guys, but we'll do some demonstrations of the features. There we go. Okay. Just keep an eye out, right? So some of our rules, there's a video we made called How to Spot Irrational Markets. You'll know that the risk interval band, I know we don't think they're swim now, but I'll go over our when this is going to be the platform because we talked about it yesterday. And I get some really good news and really exciting news for all of you guys about what we're going to be doing. And it's not what you think because we changed everything up, but I think it's a better flow, and I'll get you guys' votes on how that is. So let's pull Rocket Scooter front and center again. So come on. Where'd you go? Oh, you're here. Okay. All right. So in the strategy section, which you guys will see down here, you have the ability to add so many different strategies. And I know it's The list is going to get bigger, and there's going to be a custom strategy that's going to come up in the next release as well. Where you'll be able to program in your own strategy that's going to rank any two parameters to each other. An example is you want to search for anything currently open greater than monthly hedge pressure, currently less than monthly hedge pressure, greater than hedge, less than hedge. You want to search for things that just break up, things that just break down, hedge pressure break up, hedge pressure break down. This is major. You can very much get a lot of granularity. You can find anything you want just with those alone, and we're adding a whole bunch more. So an example, right? Let's look at SPY. The first thing I do is I look at the S&P every morning. So if your first day here, you guys make sure that you get up in that link, go to rocketscooter.com and sign up for the free trial, and you play along while we're talking. Okay. Now, SPY resilience and MHP resilience, we're going to talk about in a little bit. But just know that when this yellow line is less than 0, I don't expect this to likely hold. Now, it doesn't mean I don't take the bull side bet, but it does mean that I do know my stop might be hit, so I go into a smaller position. Like if this yellow was positive, I'd be all in long from yellow. So I'm still long. I'm going to add to my positions in just a little bit. I really would like to take the dip from here higher, but in either case, maintaining bull structure is good for the long side. This is a long side play, but as BLDs work, the trade I take is only to here, is to double top the open, right? So if you look at the playbook, and I'm just going to walk you through the scanner after I do this. BLD, you see how there's a black dot, which is the opening price, to yellow, back to black dot. This V-shaped move I like to take, okay? Any questions? That's what I like to take. Since I'm in swings, most of my swings expire at the end of the month. They're hella good. I was in JP Morgan before earnings. I was in Apple last week. I was in, and just like on the streams, right? When I do day trades, I will show you guys like entries, exits, whatever, on this account. So this is like the day trading account for Rocket Scooter that I'll be using for the stream. So anytime I'm making a new trade on the stream, I'll be free to show you. On vacation, I'm really limited on real estate, so I can't line up a bunch of screens with a bunch of stuff. So you have to bear with me. But I'll send photos from my phone or something towards the end of the day. So I got in JP Morgan like way last week. It's really nice, and I've just been writing it up. That JP, God, dude, I got JP Morgan. I got October 28th calls. I paid 45 cents for them. They're 267 now. I'm still holding on. So my JPs are up 486%. Yeah. So like I said, that's what when you guys send me a message and you go, why am I having a hard time being consistent trading? Why am I doing this? Because you sit out like I do and you wait and you wait and you wait and you nail 500% trade or 600% trade when you get a better thesis than everyone else in the world does, and you take that bet when it makes sense. You don't see me out there shorting, longing, shorting market, flip-flopping upside down, chasing this, chasing that. You see me being meticulous, methodical, thinking before I act, and I'm acting much less than probably you would expect a day trader to do. So when you guys are saying, why am I, it's hard for me to trade, I'm not making money, what am I doing wrong? I say it's a bear market. That's what you're doing wrong. Everyone's losing. Nobody's making anything right now in this world. So MHP resilience, because regular resilience is positive. So they compete with each other. And it's not a reason to not take a long. It's a great example. Oops. It's because bull markets are always, it's a great question. Theoretically, or by the rules, the answer is I find every excuse to be a bull. That's literally my strategy. Any bull playbook I will take no matter what. So if you guys want Matt's catchphrase and write this down on a sticky note, Matt will take any excuse to be a bull. In the first bull sign I see, I take it. I never question it. I don't need like with shorting, I need massive influence. I need all things pointing down. But in a bear market, the first bull sign I get, I take it. Okay, I will look for any reason to be bullish because the market's always bullish, except when it's not. For the small times, it's not. So I'm like waiting in bear markets, and if I get a bull bounce, I'll take it. Even if monthly resilience is slightly less than negative, the SPY will experience arbitrage. So that's why I'm not betting on it continuing and breaking out. That bull wave is always really strong, but when it gets there, I'm probably going to cut out. As a matter of fact, I might trim my SPY position just at the open if it gets there. But what I do is, if it's a bear market, right? If both resiliences are less than 0, I would probably get out, because the white one is much more important than the yellow one. So since white one is positive, any break to here is likely a bounce there. So I would be holding a small position that I'd want to double down right there to build the position theoretically. So because of that, I would enter small, with the exception of this breaking and this holding, to buy again, so that over the course of the day, the yellow gets slightly better. Does that make sense? So you were correct. I'm expecting this to not fully bounce and V up, because yellow is negative. So it might bounce around a little bit and it might break, but as long as white stays positive, we're likely to bounce there. And they're close enough for me to want to take that trade. Do we all follow? It's a very great question. Why do I not expect it to break past opening price? Well, I do. I just don't bet on it. So essentially, let me start over. I day trade to that fulfillment, and then I trim, and I let a little bit else ride. So normally, say that I have like 5 shares or 5 contracts from here, and it goes to there, I'll take out 3 of the 5 and let the other 2 continue to ride if I'm day trading. So that's basically it. So remember, bull bounces, I'll take them all day long. Hedge pusher bounces, I'll take them all day long. Doesn't matter what. So even if resilience is negative, I know that it's not going to be very strong of a bounce. And I know it's possibly going to break, but in a swing sense, my bias is I'm still bullish, so we're going to hold bull structure. And that resilience, or the stocks, will get bought up in the S&P. As it's bouncing in here, I want to see resilience getting slightly better, which means that the stocks are holding. If this yellow line is petering out or going lower, then I'll close and meet. That makes sense, right? So in bear markets, it's different. In bear markets, if I'm shorting, I want to be against monthly hedge pusher from the bottom. I will short against it from the bottom. And I want everything to be negative. So in a bull market, I'll be a little more relaxing. But because it's negative, instead of me buying, 20 contracts or something there, I might only buy 5 for a little scalp, something small. So when my certainty is low, my position size is low. Okay, like a third or a fourth of what I do. Just a small scalp. So does that make sense? You ratio how much you're willing to do, how much you're willing to risk based on how confident you are. That's it. And so again, why? So in a rigid rule set, the rule is resilience cautions you into being in a position. Most of the time, the stocks will move first, which means resilience will be a leading indicator. Now, when you have 2 of them next to each other like this, and the white number is positive and the yellow number is negative, the white number wins and the yellow number, or beats the yellow number, so they're competing. So it's like if you draw 2 arrows here, yellow number is pointing down, white number is pointing up. So the equilibrium of the 2 hedging areas is here in the middle. So my drawdown is not that big. So that's why I'm willing to take that bet. Do we all see that? 172 to where it wants to stabilize, according to this, it's not that far. And that's how Rocket Seeder works, right? So he messaged me, how much am I up today? My trade today is up $26,000. So in the last week, I made 40, because I made 14 yesterday and 26 today. Let me post a picture in Discord. Yeah, hold on. Actually, let me see if I can. I don't have anything loaded up. Just my swings. I'll put in the P&L channel. Let me take a full screen picture so nobody. Actually, you know what? Let me just cap this. Oh, Oops, let me show the positions. Holy crap. Hey, man. It is what it is. Okay. Just to show you the trades that I'm in. Remember that doofus came in there last week and was like, what happened to the guy's Apple trade? And I'm like, just wait. Sometimes when it comes to being political about your thesis and you want to make, I don't know, a viral tweet when you're getting retweeted and hundreds of engagements because you want to be like, hey guys, guess what? Like, I called the bottom and I'm doing this. See, here's the thing about a lot of your trading gurus, right? They're actually not even good at trading. So, you guys remember in July, I called a bottom and we made a fortune off of that rally. And I actually shorted at the very top too. And both of those calls were good. So that was kind of a really lucky, but also I'm very methodical. And you don't always win your trades. I don't always win all of them. Absolutely not. But this one, I nailed the bottom, nailed the top. And I'm like, yesterday, I've been planning this for like months, calling the bottom and being in and coming and doing this. And you guys are giving that tweet some love. So I'm really happy and excited. I successfully called the July 2-month bottom and I longed on the short at the top. You can see the tweets for the history. I'm now calling a bottom for the entire year and rally through mid-gen. Genuine buying, bear market gets nasty, Q2 and some for lower lows. I did a lot of math yesterday to figure this out and what I want to do for my position. And so it's like not all the time am I actually detailing everything I'm doing and like my swing style, because sometimes here's the thing about like trading, right? If you have a trading community or trading platform, the stream we focus on day trading, but Papa also got to retire with some money, and so I'm gonna be making my big plays, my big things, and I'm gonna be in first. I'm not out there super broadcasting every part of my position by buying JP Morgan for what I think it's gonna be. I want to secure my position and be first in some of my bigger swings. Of course, and I told you guys those in the trades all the time when I make them. So those I did announce, but I'm not out there like, in this particular sense, my bigger reversal, I was waiting to make the post at the right time, and then now I'll show everybody what I'm doing. So it's like I'm going to maneuver, then reveal my hand, just in this one instance. So normally when I'm doing my day trades, you guys will see them live all day when I make them, entries, exits, whatever. And so I haven't been doing much day trading. I've been just accumulating position, and when the market flushed on Thursday, I gobbled up a whole bunch more. Just waited for the reversal. So let me post just a picture. Oh, I'm okay. So I'm up 29,000. It just keeps going for the day. Fuck. Here we go. Let me show y'all. And I swear to God, this is not a paper account. This is real. This is my Rollins Rocket Scooter account here. Let's go to P&L. And again, like I'm selling the money. It's just ridiculous. Okay, here are the positions that I'm in. Position totals for the day. I got October 21st, Apple 150 calls. These guys are, I've been building that position. JP Morgan 44, same rep 11K today, bro. Way to go. So JP Morgan, I've got October 22nd, 28th, 44 calls. I remember actually Vegas, if you guys know her, we got on the phone, I think it was before I got on the plane, and we were just chit-chatting about the market, and she's a big fan of JP Morgan, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm in some JP Morgan calls too, and so she posted about it last night, and under the post I actually shared that was my position. So I was really secretive about building my position because I'm going to make 1 to 200K off this trade when it reverses all of them together. So I got some October 24th, 65 SPY, 375 weekly calls in the money, and these guys are just pushing. So yeah. And I'm just taking a snapshot of it, but I mean, every ticket goes up. Now I have to decide naked calls. Yeah, no, I mean, it's very rare that you have this instance, but you guys, Greco, y'all been here for the last week or two. Y'all been hearing me just like yell. No, I mean, I did share my love. When I got in those trades, I was actually streaming. You guys were here for that. It's just whenever I'm talking about like how I'm going to make the trade and where I'm going to trade to and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in the trade and then of course maneuver through it to kind of build a position. But like, and that one I did, but I said like not all the time would I be like, hey, by the way, I'm planning on doing this, this, and this because, for like a bigger swing or a bigger thing, or like my retirement. Basically, I see it like, my bullish on semis, absolutely. Yeah. Are they considered bar upon? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, no, I got in the position. I think it was like maybe sometime last week. It was on the stream. I was telling everybody about it. And as the market was chilling, it was right before the non-farms, and the non-farms flushed the market. The night before, I called one of our mods, and I was actually talking about it. I called him, and I was like, hey, he's like, what do you think's going to happen? I said, well, I think the market's going to flush on non-farm. Initial bad news, we're going to tank, and we're going to dip down, and I'm going to just gobble up. And that's what I did. And so, just kind of getting everybody's opinions on what they thought was going to happen in the market. Everyone seemed to have, at least in our circle, had a similar thesis that this was the bottom for the year. The market's way too liquid to crash. I think I'm up now 30K profit. So, 30K today. Nicole and I went to dinner last night, and the whole time I'm writing, we were in an hour driving from Denver to Colorado Springs. The whole time we were there, I was explaining to her the mechanics of the trade, and I did calculations on how much the options are. If I get to my breakout targets, especially if Apple strikes on the money, it's about $200,000 trade. So that was worth a bottom call. So at the end of the day, when I do my day trades and call my bottoms and talk about the things I'm going to do, now I said I'm not necessarily guaranteeing that, obviously I'm a trader. I could be 100% wrong and lose this. But as a trader, right, I build my thesis, I share my thesis, and I've been pretty loud about it. I do kind of like what I'm seeing on the bull side of things. So let me go ahead and take a look at some of the trades I made. So if I'm going to tell you how I look at this, right? So I remember I want to see SPY monthly resilience go above 0. If it doesn't go above 0 after 1 or 2 bounces and this starts to trade a little lower and this yellow line starts to trade lower, I'm going to start to take some profit on SPY here. But start putting that cash into other trades. So now what I do is I look at liquidity map as BLD, right? So you look at the liquidity map, you're going to come through here. BLD is telling me where liquidity is. So what our program does is it looks for market maker positions. That's our technology. And if you guys like this, if you guys are here, please do me a favor, like that stream real quick. Click that like button and share what we're showing you. Rocket Scooter reveals market maker positions in hedging. We're the first platform in the world to do that, and our technology was built for that particular purpose, and traders like us use it for risk management. You see, liquidity map is where buyers and sellers can be based on the risk distribution and options. It's a brand new thought process, and we call it positional risk analysis, and we invented this in-house. Both our team of engineers have been building this for 3 years. So it's a whole new way to think. It's different to technicals. It's different to fundamentals. And as part of my major thesis for calling a bottom is using these types of mechanics and mentality to look at the market. Share the stream with your friends. We love you guys. So liquidity map is a series of codes that talk about the positional distribution of puts, calls, that where hedging will be. We can calculate the highest order flow of the day due to hedging. You can see very easily on the charts, anytime you touch hedge pressures, there's a volume spike. We will show you in review where that hidden volume is. You always use these programs like unusual volume, right? Unusual activity. Well, Rocket Scooter will show you the level that unusual volume will be at before it happens. This level is printed at the very beginning of the day. I know that 372.5 is that bounce point, and you see how clean that is on the money. That's hedge pressure, and it's no lie. After the market opens and decays, there's a volume spike as you interact with hedge pressure. That highest volume is market makers delta hedging, and we can show you and reveal where that is. It's never not right. Okay. So you hit this level. Doesn't mean it's going to bounce, but it means there are likely buyers there if you're above it. If you're below it, there's sellers. And so liquidity map, that's one of the parts of it. We'll show you where buyers and sellers can be. So as a trader, I don't need to act like I'm not just randomly buying the dip at random spots. I'm waiting for what I want and calling it out before I do it. You know, so this morning I said I want to long at 372.5, and that's it. So inside of here, this is the net gamma, so the maximum gamma of all sold options to only market makers. That's our tech. So maximum gamma means maximum change in delta. Maximum change in delta means maximum shares of the stock bought for shares of the option available, or shares of the option hedged. And so essentially that means the maximum amount of hedging done, or the maximum order flow. So your unusual options flow or unusual order flow this is where it is. You can just put a U here at the start of the day, because when you tap it, volume spike. Where's that coming from? Well, you have the maximum accumulation or distribution of shares based on hedging balances. And there you go. So if I know there's going to be volume here, then I can say there a lot of buyers will be there, and sellers. I mean, it could be both. But I know that that's the interaction point that matters. So BLD, I go right here. And again, you guys can have a free trial of our software and check out our techniques by yourself. But essentially, the best thing that does for me is narrow down the entire price spectrum to just a couple actionable points that matter. I'm not going to play anywhere else except for here or here, and the open price and the close price and a couple of pivots. And liquidity map is telling me not where the market should go, because you can't predict the stock market. Nobody can. But it's telling me where buyers and sellers can be. So if you guys don't, feel free, subscribe to the stream if you want. We're growing really, 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 really fast. And I'm excited to have you guys come here and check out what we're doing. Yeah, we don't even put a credit card on there so that you guys can just ease on in. This isn't like a bait and switch to get you to put in your credit card. We'll start charging. There is no credit card for that free trial, just a phone number. Put it in. Greco might call you, read you a bedtime story, but other than that, we don't bug you. We believe in our products so much. Once you touch it, you're never going to use technical analysis again. I'm just saying. But so what I do is, and I in the morning we get the calculations done at 9:30. So I come here, and this is kind of a roadmap of where buyers and sellers can be. So an example is, we have these will be printed on the chart eventually. And just bear with us, because as we release the platform, some of our information is still manually given to you in our Discord. But in the future, just imagine everything will be fully automated. Arrows will be drawn on the chart. I mean, the playbooks will be on the chart. I mean, everything will be there. So I think the stream might be cutting out a little bit, so bear with me. But so in this particular, you see how it says no long at open, right? In a BLD, and we gap up, I never long at the open. Fancy that. Okay, there's a rule there. So on a BLD, if it hits monthly hedge, it goes back to the opening price. There's a V-shaped move that I love to take. It's here to here, back to there. Now, we're not getting any love. Remember, we talked about monthly resilience. This is actually, this yellow line is the tiebreaker at monthly hedge pressure. I ideally would like to see that positive for my trade to support. Okay. But obviously, what this is if hedge pressure has a particular bounce that I'm wanting to take, liquidity map doesn't guarantee it'll happen, but at least I have risk and reward against it. So my stop loss is always one strike distance away from any one of the breaks. If I'm on positive bullish hedging, then I'm going to stop one strike below. Easy that. So any one of these pivots, I stop on that. The arrows tell me where, if there's an arrow to an extensus BLU, there's an arrow that goes from here to here. What it means is, if we're in the middle and it falls to there, and I want to be a bull, then I'm a bull. And markets, I'm betting that markets will raise price to look for sellers, and the tip of the arrow is where they'll be. So if I'm a bull here and it bounces there, I'm going to buy that there are buyers on that burst of volume, and I will sell at the open price where sellers will be. So this is a map for me to map out risk to reward ratio, so I can actually calculate the risk and reward of every trade I make before I do it. I know where my stop is or my pivot is today. I know that if I get lucky and the index taps that open price, I'll probably liquidate my index position. So what you'll normally see is the index will rally like a day or two. But when the index is consolidating like this, it's time to find stocks that are going to move up, that'll move faster than the index. So when we tap that open, I'll probably close out my SPY and start building something else. But just bear with me here. So a BLD, I'm going to show you the two different setups that I like inside of this one. I like to take that. If you really high gap up, I like to buy a monthly hedge to scalp it right back to here and close. That's it. Chances are you'll probably have like a doji type candle or like a spinning top, whatever they call them. But that's a particular setup. Anything in here is a dip in kind of a, I would say like a scalping range, here to here, here to here. So if you do take a short that this breaks to there, and you take a long that this goes to there, either one of those scalps are possible. If you are a bear, this monthly resilience being less than 0 is a higher probability that this is going to break and go to there. So had you want to trade that resilience number as we're rallying here, you're building a short. Say you got a short right there. Your profit target would be right there because the white resilience is positive. So these are tiebreakers at the white and yellow numbers. Think of it as if the white number is greater than 0, then the white number is support. The yellow number is less than 0, then the yellow number is resistance. So you see that yellow wants to break, white wants to hold, so you're somewhere in here. So if I was shorting at the open, my profit target is there with a 1 strike stop above. If I'm buying the dip today and this goes and comes here, I likely don't like it. As a matter of fact, staring at it right now, I'm like, let me trim out some of my SPY. Does that make sense, you guys? Now my SPY expires on the 24th, so I've got plenty of days for them to go, and they're not even in the money. So I don't want to be a little bitch about it because they're 375 calls, but I will liquidate a majority of the position if we do start to lose half gap and trade lower. So 375 calls will still burn some theta if I don't get close to it. And the hot theta burn is the highest right up in here. So if it taps it, I might just close some of that SPY, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so what I do when I'm trading, and say the index is kind of holding there, let me find some stocks that are going to work, right? And maybe I want to find stocks that are sitting right at monthly hedge pressure and they're going to move, and they're in that same setup as SPY. So in the strategy section, what I can do is I go to the liquidity map and I can actually search for other BLVs, just like the SPY, and I can actually sort by the distance from hedge pressure, like this. I always find a reason to be a bull. Now, I don't bet that you have 2 bounces, but when that volume is declining, it depends on which side of hedge pressure you're on. So as we see right now, the volume is clearly spiking a second time. As the volume's declining, we're still kind of like, So I don't think it's going to hold today, but we'll just see. So an example is I want to find a stock that looks just like SPY that's at that same actionable point. What if I wanted to short something, right? So let me filter by just BLVs. Now I can come through here, and find something that's, say, United Healthcare, right? It's in a very similar setup for SPY. So now I can find some stocks that are kind of right at that same edge to make that same bet that are right there. And say that I want to find something, an example, to short that has already broken through monthly hedge pressure. So now the new strategies are that. I want to find something that's broken down through monthly hedge pressure. And then this will tell me, is it broken down, yes or no? And so now I can find SPY, and it's going to tell me that SPY is in that same boat and it's breaking down through monthly hedge. So I'm like, ooh, okay, so in future we'll have alarms for you. So you can program alarms that say anything that you're long, you can get an alarm if you break through to the other side. Do y'all see that? So the idea is I can actually use monthly hedge pressure breaks to signal myself to put a stop. So look, now we're doing that. Let me go ahead and trim some of my SPY, right? Let me just click this boy here. Let me sell, since I'm in 65 contracts, let me go ahead and sell just 20 of those. Okay, I'm just going to dump them to the market. Review. Oops. Yeah. So let me, just sell a third of my position, right? 20. Let me see. Hear the splinky splink? Okay. So I dropped 20 of my SPYs, and that's it. I had 65 calls, 65 SPY calls. So if you guys are just tuning in, feel free to go to that rockets here. Everyone click that like button really quick. And I know I'm on vacation, so I'm on my laptop. The sound is kind of wacky, but and the internet's kind of spotty, but we love having you guys here. Go here for the free trial. Sounds like money. Yeah, I'm up pretty significant today. So this is, I posted my position this morning. In the last 2 days, up about 40 grand on the trade. As I did call the bottom, I did make that bet. I do show my trades live. Whenever you guys come, I have my DOM on the screen. You'll be able to watch me input in enter and exit trades at will. So now let's take a look. I'm gonna look at BLDs. I'm gonna find, I'm gonna do a quick little strategy. I'm gonna find everything that's an LD, an LD, and an LD. And I'm gonna come through here and I'm looking for anything that has, ooh, what are these? MHP breakdown. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. So the functionality is super cool. I have not played with the new version yet. We released this version on Monday. So you guys go get the free trial. That link I posted, no credit card. You can get the free trial all you want. and play with it for a week. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is going to be stocks. Say if I wanted to long something, I want to find all the LDs that are above monthly hedge pressure right now. Okay, and I want to find the ones that actually have broken above it. Okay, so now if I want to find a bull squeeze that's moving, I can now come through here and sort by things that are gamma squeezing higher. Let's get Pepsi. Like if I wanted to grab a nice little long on something, Pepsi has broken to the upside. We now have hedge pressure volume and Pepsi supporting. That seems like a pretty decent run up here for Pepsi. So now I can find gamma squeeze breakout plays. You guys that trade penny stocks, oh, this is the way to go. You want to find a stock that's about the gamma squeeze higher. And if you don't believe me when I say hedge pressure is that volume, anytime you're here, you get volume spikes. And that's exactly what our technology does right here. Pepsi's a long. Resilience almost below zero. Yeah, so be very careful here on this one. As Abe is telling us, with this white number below zero, I'm going to expect stocks to be more likely running to fill the gap. So thank you for doing that. You guys are so well trained on this. That's not a good sign. If this white number is less than zero, it's probably a sign to close everything out. Do I want to be a little bitch and spy or not? I'm going to give it a couple of seconds and let it interact there. So remember, resilience is the tiebreaker when you get the half gap. Yeah, so as Abe is cautioning, I'm going to be very careful here. We're getting volume that's spiking again, and as this volume is decaying, we are on the south side of monthly hedge. Not the best sign in the world. I'm going to go ahead and close another 10 of my SPY. Okay. I'm going to be a little more cautious again. Let me go ahead and sell just another 10. I'm going to keep half of my position and use that cash to jump into something else. Actually, I'm going to sell 15 of these. Okay. Again, I'm just going to dump them. Okay. So I've now only long, again, the SPYs are at the money anyway, so it was a good write up. Let me see what my positions are now. I only have 30 calls, which is great. I'm just freeing up a little bit of that buying power to grab something else. Lifetime member, Rockets here, Matt Rocks. Love you, Abe. Thank you, buddy. Does that mean we can break the gap down line? Yeah, it does. That's the whole point, right? So because of that, I'm going to caution and take out of the index so I can look to buy a stock. And I'm going to see what I get. Now, I don't think we're going to fill in that gap, but we'll just double check that. So let me look at Pepsi because it's one of the trades I like. Of all the ones that we have, it's a pretty decent setup. And we're going to do Pepsi on the wall side. So if we do BLD, it's the same thing. Now, Pepsi has broken above opening price. It's actually a really decent setup. So let's look for monthly mode, Pepsi, resistances. There seem to be none. Let me go up here on the walls mode. After 170 is a nice little breakout. So there seems to be no resistance here, and I am liking Pep. So let's get in here. My JPs are still doing good. VIX is still doing okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad I'm closing out some of the SPY. Let me get me a single chart here. Let's run a gap. If you guys haven't seen this video that we did, I want you all to watch this really quick. This is going to be called Picking Price Targets. It's a summary of one of our bigger videos that we have. And we're also, since we are let me get this, redoing all of our videos on the platforms out. Just bear with us that some of our videos are based, were made before Rocketeer even came out. I mean, we had the techniques for years, but so we are redoing all the videos so that they are with the new platform. We go right here. If I click this right here, this is going to be what it's called Picking Price Targets. And this is one of the ones I do it's one of my favorite things to do to try to understand where my swings are going to go. Pepsi's looking hella good. So let's go up here. I like it. And let's get this indicator off of there. Okay. So Pepsi's always been good. We are breaking out to all-time highs. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, I just like it, right? It's looking really nice on a monthly squeeze. Is recession coming? We are in a recession. The stock market doesn't just crash in a recession. It has cycles. We're experts at showing you guys where those cycles are. And so right now I'm calling a cycle up for 6 months. So the market needs to really, really, really work its way lower. It's just too liquid to fall. And that's why even right now at the high, I do like Pepsi. Now, as far as what we're going to do here, As far as an investment goes, I'm just kind of going to play with this. I'm going to see where that daily range is on Pepsi. This is a technique that we teach in our red lines video. I'm going to go back and I'll detail some of this later. Oops. I just want to see, so since we're near all-time highs, there's really not a lot of, there's not a lot of techniques you can do other than yellow lines and red lines to try to figure out distances the market can go. But at the end of the day, it is looking nice and clean. So I'm just going to do a quickie little, here we go. I'll show you what I'm doing in a little bit. I'm trying to get a range estimate there. That's good enough. So that is about 69 to, it's about a 10, okay, so about 10 point rips. It's about 180 for PEP. 181. So now I'm going to just do risk and reward just to kind of take a look at it, just to see. 175 to 181 with the 1 point step is not a bad idea. So if I were to do some trade, and that's going to sound kind of counterintuitive, right? It is definitely at the high, but let me get ahead. Let me look at this watch list. Options. Okay. Options, and I'll just get a couple just to have fun with it. I'm going to do 28th of October, 2 weeks on that. Breakout's 181. So I'm looking at 180s. I want them to be right on the money, $1.07 a pop. Easy as that. Let me go ahead and get 30 of those. I like it, the bounce. Okay. Okay. So I just added some Pepsi to my portfolio. 180 strike. This would be all-time high breakout for Pepsi. I'm getting on a BLD. Market's looking nice and solid. Like I said, just a swing. I know there's not much to it. I'm going to take them. I've got 2 weeks on those guys. And that's basically it. Okay, so I trimmed out some of my SPY just to get out of the index, but I still have a big, massive position in SPY, some of the other stocks I'm in. But you can see that with the breakups and breakdowns, I really can detail very, very accurately different kinds of trades I want to do. Res is popping. Yeah, Res is popping a little bit there, which is good. You can see that there are stocks that are on the edge. Now, with it being so bouncy like this, it's likely that there is one of the major high market cap stocks on the edge that is causing this much craziness. So one of the things we're at to strategy is search for distance from half gap, which he hasn't put in there yet. Distance from half gap will let us find out which stock is it right on the edge, and it's usually going to be something big, one of the big techs or something. So it could be like, anytime Microsoft. Looks like, anytime Microsoft breaks half gap, see how you get those big jolts. So you're going to see there are some of the bigger market cap stocks alone start to tilt that index, right? Microsoft is there doing that. I'm going to see if there's anything else like Meta. Yeah, so like even losing Meta was like a big deal. So let me see what we have on Meta, mean reversion, long down. Okay, so QQQ, right? So if I want to play some tech stocks today. And QQQ has been, obviously, this is the weakness we talked about this morning. You see that Qs have been falling to half gap, which is good. So inside of here, none of the sides are looking good. And this might actually be a pretty sizable sell-off day. So you guys be very careful, whatever it is you are trading and doing. We just had a major stock lose hedge pressure. So now let's use the scanner. This is how cool the scanner is. Everybody go sign up for the free trial real quick. Let me show you something cool. Which stock is it that just kicked hedge pressure lower? In an MHP breakdown, again, I can't, let me do this. Breadown. I'm going to come through here, and now I can find out which ones are distance from hedge pressure that just broke through that are big. What are the ones that caused this drop? What's right on the edge? Mods, don't hide each individual message. Just hide the user on the channel, and we'll remove all of them at once. It's the fastest way to do it. Distance infinity. Oh, look at that. I guess that means that it's on the line. Let me see this really quick. Does it mean it's on the line? That's interesting to see. Oh, there is no... That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to take note of this. One of the things is there may be a little bit of bias. There is no hedge pressure. So it still shows up on the list. There is no monthly hedge pressure, is there? On this one? RLY. It's not showing RSG. Oh yeah, so when it is on the line, it is saying infinity. That's interesting. It's good to know. We need to put in something for that. So let's find some, like, what is it that's losing monthly today? So we could find the distance from here, SPY, LBS, and then of course one of the parameters we'll have is like market cap. So Microsoft, right? Microsoft is one of the ones that have broken down originally, and then of course let's see if there's anything that's right there today. Make sure I have all the strategy there. This is cool. I need to get used to playing with this. This is different. We'll do breakdown and less than monthly. Okay. COP. So you're getting that like Conoco just dropped. You know, and it's basically you can find the ones that aren't breaking. It's because of the half cap. So what it's telling you is very normal because it's very sensitive to market cap. So you're looking for that very, 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 very small tilt of the scale. So it means that there's usually like this, there's a high market cap stock sitting right at a half cap that's bouncing around. So when we get the strategy for, I think it was Microsoft. So typically what you'll see is that, not Microsoft, but there is some stock, a big market cap that's right on the edge. It's literally when it's bouncing on monthly, or sorry, bouncing on a half cap, you'll see that it does that. So like you see even right here, Microsoft. Now there's other stocks in the thing, but you can see even Microsoft as it's playing there, there's a lot of sensitivity to resilience because if Microsoft starts hedging lower, that rate is massive because it's a lot of market cap there. Okay, does that make sense? So neat that the strategies are coming out with different ones we can play with. Ideally, it's like, okay, so if I want to find some bull strategies, right? And I want to find some that have broken down from the bull side and are now selling off, we can go to monthly hedge pressure, break to the downside, and now that we're less than monthly hedge, and we can go here and look at all the bull ones that have lost ground and see if there's anything that looks good on the downside, like Snap and whatever else. So at the opening of the day, you can look for a bull setup that has broken through monthly with this particular setup, and you will have that monthly action point to look at. So that's neat to see. So right now, actually, I'm going to look for some really bad stocks that look like good buying opportunities. Again, I'm pretty bullish for the long haul, so I'm looking for some nasty, nasty stuff. So let's go through here and let's go to input. Let's grab some text. So what I'm going to do, I always start with the index and see what the index looks like. We are a short up for Qs. So I'm going to go to strategy, input. I'm going to pick all the ones that are short up, same way, short up, short up, short up, just like that. I'm going to go to strategy as well. We're going to look for short ups that are still above monthly and ones that are broken to the upside. CL and SQQQ. Okay, so with resilience positive and things still moving, I need to find something that is supporting on the tech side. So let's go through and let's look like an Nvidia or something, right? One looks pretty gross today, like an Nvidia. So let's do some mapping on Nvidia really quick. Do I want to gobble the dip on Nvidia today? We're going to do monthly mode today. We're at 119 trading down, 115 as support. Great. Huge sell-off here on Nvidia. I like the idea. When I scoop it at 115, this is a liquidity pocket, so that's really nice. So I am going to make Nvidia my next trade. Let's go into here. Like I said, I got Pepsi just for a breakout high. Let's do a monthly map on Nvidia. Monthly map is a cool trick. You guys are going to get really good at this. Still drawing in Thinkorswim. Let me go through here and let's do. So the way monthly map works is you're going to get Rocket Scooter and you're going to map out every Friday for a month. Okay. And we're going to find out where that target is. So first and foremost, we're trading at 118 on Nvidia. Resistance is 130. So when you're trading up through this video that I linked, the one I told you guys to watch, this is going to tell you exactly why I'm picking this target today for Nvidia. I want all of you guys to go here, here, and here. Like Lifestream Smart, thank you. This video picking price targets. A 115 to 130 be a lovely spread on Nvidia. Like I said, the market dips out pretty bad. I like to gobble that guy. That sounds really weird. Gobble that stock right up. And then we're going to put that in the Thinkorswim chart and do a monthly map. So let's go here. I'm going to grab a bunch of that. So let's go here. And on a monthly map, the way that it works, it's going to be. Remember, we have major earnings coming up. Yeah, hit that like button, you guys. Love you guys. Okay. So I will come through here and I will put monthly mode on the chart. I'm going to map out what it's going to look like a month out. So this is 1021. 1021 is going to be monthly expiration, which is right here. So we have 130 as support. Just going to draw it like that. Sorry, that's put walls. Down here, 115 as call walls. Okay. So 115 to 125 is calls. I'm just going to draw a little zone here. Right. And monthly map is something that will be drawn on the chart for you guys at some point as well. And I'll share with you the scope of what we're releasing in the next couple of months and quarters. And you'll be very excited to see that. So we do have bull side support, and then 110 is resistance again. Okay. So we have a nice little liquidity pocket down in here, which is good. Let's go ahead and change the date, single date. Let's pick another Friday. This is this week, so let's look at the 28th, and we'll get the spread of what 28th looks like as well. So I'm kind of basically drawing where all that risk pocket is over the course of the month, right? So the 28th, which is the next expiration, is going to be at 116 right here, and it's pretty much 100 to the downside. Now let's get some granularity because it's a big gap in the middle. Let's go to manual. We're going to type in 1, and it's going to close that gap a little bit to show me that 110 to 100 is really where that kind of risk is, with a little zoom feature there to kind of get a little more granularity on your info. So let's say that this was 115 earlier, and 100 is the low. So it's about as good as we're going to get. You see Nvidia and others are looking like they want to go lower. Let's go out one more month. Actually, why is it a holiday? The 4th? That's where there's no data that day. Oh well, we'll skip it. Go to the 11th. 110 and 105. Let's do auto. Very strange. Okay. 110 and 105. So going back to Thinkorswim. And again, I'm just drawing it out. So this is going to be the 11th. So 110 right here. 105. Right. So you can see that over the course of the month, Nvidia has liquidity all down in here. So to me, there's a bottoming process where Nvidia is not, it's actually bullish, right? The bear side of Nvidia needs to be much lower. So you have to break lower lows to even be bearish in Nvidia. So this is selling in the bull territory. And while 115 and 110 are surprisingly bullish, and 110 over the course of the month is also in the liquidity pocket. So there we go. I will buy 110 to hit 130 at this strike or later. Okay, so that's I just did an options trade. Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, we're gonna go to trade. So that's how a monthly map is how I map out my entire options, the date, everything. Nvidia. I'm gonna prep it. I'm not gonna buy it yet. I'm gonna go straight to the option. I want to get this is gonna be 1110. Now again, let's make sure their earnings call is not anywhere close. I don't want to get in now because I don't want to hit that high. I don't like the long options. When is their earnings, by the way? What is that? somewhere coming up. Make sure I get a decent price. I don't like to buy a week or two before earnings. So let's do that. I'm going to get 130s for the 11th of November. They're slightly expensive. That's okay. 360. Are you shorting Nvidia to fill the gap down to put lots down? I'm gonna accumulate Nvidia on account that the market's gonna still stay rallying and that resilience is greater than 0, and Nvidia has dipped below it. So let's go ahead and get. I want it to trade a little lower though. Yeah. So I want to see. I'd like to get those down at like the 115, 120 level. So I'm not gonna be too eager to jump into this right now. If you haven't signed up for Rocket Sphere yet, please feel free to go do that. We're the one of the biggest trading discords out there. Certainly the biggest algorithmic trading discord by members. So we have a massive community, almost 800 paying members now. We're growing rapidly, like hundreds of people every month. It's just nuts how much support and love you guys give the community. We're kind of going viral on Twitter right now with our bottom prediction call. I mean, it's like really neat to see that you guys are very receptive of all this hard work. Our team, we have a massive group of people here, and the team here is phenomenal. I mean, the traders here are really good. There's no nonsense, no junk. It's all next level people, next level thinkers. That I'm very fortunate to have friends here that are just always blowing my mind with the stuff they teach me. There's some really smart people in that Discord, so feel free to join it. There's my trade earlier. Let me go up here. And if you need access, you need help, the mods are very helpful to get up in there and send them a message or go into tech support or anything. They're very, very happy to help you guys out. Like I said, it's a free Discord. You guys can hang out there all the time, chit chat with us. You did the SPY bounce from hedge pressure to pressure. Nice. Okay, so let's watch QQQ, right? Let's see when we get some major pivots on Qs. So with half cap being positive, and let me go to QQQ resilience as well. So right, I'm gonna use this to try to see, yeah, so like, you know, Qs is looking good. Obviously resiliences are positive and Qs sitting at half cap. This might be the right time to strike on Nvidia. So let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my small position there. Like I said, I sold some SPY today off the trade that I made. I locked in a lot of profit with SPY. Today's realized, hold on, I don't know how to do realized on here. So locked in about 10K profit with SPY. And now I'm starting to accumulate some Nvidia. I'm starting to accumulate some Pepsi. Like I said, my JP Morgans are up 440%, something like that. They are 120 strike. So like I said, I'm still holding on for the break. JP is going to make me very, like, I got in JP well before earnings. Pelosi dumped her Nvidia calls. Hell yeah. That's what I know. I want to see that selling today. The market is so bullish. I want to see something that dips out so I can grab. So I'm excited about that. So JP, right, I got in early on last week. So this is nice to see this. I'm about to go hiking today, you guys. I'm in Colorado, so I'm going to be getting my hike on. Grind checking VIX. If you use 1 and 0 in your fib, you take your lower value, add 280 to it. But how are you picking your lower value or anchor point before adding the risk interval? You just arbitrarily pick a spot on the chart and just pick. If I go to VIX, I know what you're saying. Go here and go here. So say that you want to make your risk interval, right? All I do is I just draw it randomly, and I go here, and then I'll just pick my 0 and 1. And I'll just do 280. So I'll see okay, it's 31. Let's just do 31 and 33.8. See what I'm saying? Like I just randomly pick it just to draw the tool, and then I take the tool. And so you can measure from the bottom of the range, which is here. So you get 2.8 up. It's VIX futures, by the way, Doug O'Shea, as KRG is telling you. So the risk interval is a futures exploit, so we do all of them plus doomsday with futures. Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm going to bounce out of here in a little bit. I'll fill you guys in on anything different I do. But please watch those videos. All of our training videos are going to be moved to YouTube now. We want you guys to all love it, like it, comment on it, say something cool. We're really big fans of, giving you guys content that y'all love. This is, again, the streams are getting bigger and bigger every day. Thanks for tuning in. I like these new features. There's more coming out. Oh, the pipeline. So this is what I'm going to tell you guys. The videos section is going to be changed. I know those advanced videos we have, we just pulled them, but it's because we want you guys to watch them in a certain setup. So the training videos have been moved. So we want you to watch them in this order now. This is the basics of the platform, and this is about to be replaced with a newer one as well. So this is the rules of irrational markets. Here, oops, let me edit that. And the pipeline of what we're releasing is going to be very cool. We will be trading in our platform by the end of the year, if all things work well. Trading. And that's really exciting for some of y'all. That's our next push. Like an old half cap, as long as resilience is greater than 0, then I bet that half cap holds, which resiliences look hella good today. So we'll just see. My Nvidia play is a 130 strike on 11.11. It's a swing. I'm giving myself enough room to move. 11.11, I got 20 130 calls for bid. Nvidia's pulled back the most. Pelosi dumped her stuff. Absolutely, so. Nvidia has fallen. I want to load up at the bull side of the market. So here, 118 to liquidity. So my entry was, I got an entry here just a second ago, right? Literally right there, I bought. I'm gonna buy a little bit more, and essentially I'm out if we just fall to bear side and collapse today. Resiliences are looking hella good, so I mean this is a great place to accumulate to see if tomorrow looks a little bit better. As far as the monthly map goes, remember we can look at this and do a quickie monthly map. Intel looking cheaper. I know, right? I mean, I just like the idea that tech is just getting a lot of hate right now, but I'm really thinking that the market's just, in general, these are the lagging areas. And so let's do Nvidia for quickly the 14th. Single date, 113, 112. It's my girlfriend trade. She hasn't started yet. So she started. She hasn't started she's taking a sabbatical from her job. So in a couple weeks, she's going to leave her job for a year and just kind of do different things. So while on her sabbatical, I've been training her. She's been doing maybe a couple trades here and there, but not sitting down and day trading. So when she's out of her job, she's definitely going to day trade, almost give it a shot just for fun, as she's exploring and figuring out what she wants to do with her life. What a cool time, right? So the expiration is going to be the 11th. So that's the Friday that I'm trading on. And so the idea is that on the upside, single date, 125, 130. So, oops. So this is actually here. 125. I actually do that in the wrong spot. So 11, 125 top, 130, and 123 bottom. Okay. top. 130. $123 to 105. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing where those walls are and just translating it to thinkorswim. 123 to 105. And why is the market bullish or less? It's a liquidity thing. The market's it's bearish over the long haul. It is. But bears don't bet that market collapses. Bears bet that they can short from a high and make money. So we're going to find a high. And the market's going to move pretty far to the upside if I were to take a bet. So there's 130. So my target on Nvidia is right there. And so I'll go back to the 4th. For some reason, there was just no data on the 4th, which was really odd. Okay, so we only go out a month anyways. So it's October the 4th. That's right, 11/4, 28. Okay. 116. Okay. So with Nvidia, right, as I'm looking for the market to inside of here, this is kind of like where my stop would be, because this is where liquidity can be found. So Nvidia, to maintain liquidity, can find a path down here. So clearly my stop is going to be in the middle right there. But any kind of bull support that holds where my stop will be, hits that 130, is that liquidity pocket is right here around that target. So the idea is that I'm looking for bull side support to, sorry, not liquidity pocket, but basically like I picked 130 here for that bull side break. But what I said is wherever the liquidity pockets be, I should have picked, actually, it looks like I did this backwards. So I made a mistake on my target. In reality, no, I'm right. I'm sorry. My colors are right. I did it right. I look for liquidity pockets, which is between a put and a call zone for my out of the money options right here. So any break from here, I try to go as far out as I can find the R to R. Like if I go 115 to 130, there's a 130 resistance here, which is good. And even so here, there's a 130 liquidity pocket, right? So a short side breakout goes to here, which would be great. If it takes, a month to get there, that's also great. But we don't bet on the market spontaneously breaking bullish, especially for earnings. But at least if I can hold it for the month, is this the earnings call? Yeah. So I'm going to get in while the IV is low. And even so, even if it doesn't go anywhere, that IV is going to pump up. This is Nvidia, right? So I'll just make money on IV alone, just as that goes up. I got in long enough ahead of time. And then, of course, we don't bet that we do the breakout. But you know that if this is the range, about like 115, you get about a 15 point up and 15 point down. So it's about a 15% expected move, give or take. And you can use Rocket Scooter and do the same thing. So 130. So it's about on a straight basis, you're talking 15 points to lose 5. So it's probably going to go down a little bit. But again, I'm watching these resilience numbers, making sure they're staying good. I'm going to scoop up a little more right there and then call it a day. Normally, I will short against monthly hedge pressure, but this on a BSD is that lower limit that I usually look for to exit a short. So because of that, that's why I'm looking to start my long there. So the bottom of the call territory is that bull zone. And like I said, if we start passing through 115 or lower, I'm out. So I want to go below 115. I want to hold it to 130. Easy as that. Any questions you guys have before I bounce out of here? Wait, love y'all. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we went through our scope. And guess what? The only thing that makes sense is to turn on futures trading for Rocket Scooter and stock trading for Rocket Scooter as the first and foremost thing that we do and add to the platform. Before doomsday, before everything else. And the reason why we say that is because the scopes, the sprints and epics that we're lining up for our development of our platform only make sense because we can't do dynamic hedge pressure, risk interval, and doomsday without futures data to convert to. We can't do anchor points, yellow lines, and things like that also without a little bit of work being done both on the algorithmic side of how those are done automated versus having futures data conversion as well to do that. So we have options data now, we have stock data. We got to add futures as the next step. We weren't ever planning on doing futures data, but now that you guys want us to automate some of these things, we have to. So we're going to have futures data. We're going to be able to trade futures in our platform as a next step. Now we're doing the investigation of feasibility now, but we have connection over at NinjaTrader and Tradeovate. We'll be able to trade through your brokerages over there at those places if we go that route. So the idea is you'll be able to log into your Tradeovate or Ninja account through Rocket Scooter, and you'll be able to buy or sell in your own brokerage. And we're just a shell, just like with TradingView. It's the TradingView comes with that feature in TradingView. You can log into your brokerage and trade. I think even StockTwits lets you do that. Like essentially, we're just a pass through, and so we're going to open those APIs, and you'll be able to go in and do that. Now we have to do feasibility to see, the data fees and data costs and things like that. But ideally, the first step that we are planning on doing is opening up live trading through the platform, which will be awesome. And when we get that data, at the same time, the other groups are going to be building dynamic hedge pressure and doomsday, and we'll put that on the platform. After that, we'll be working on the anchor points, lines and things like that to be automated. But in the interim, before the end of the year, we're going to have some customization features, save user settings, multi-charting, different parts like that. And once all the indicators get into the platform, then our next set of epics are going to be to build additional modules. A statistical back test that looks at how many times you had a BLD on the liquidity map under the same VIX conditions. It'll say the last 500 times this has held hedge pressure 60% of the time. So now you're creating risk and reward for your trades with odds of a historic back test. So nobody has historic back test with odds. We'll be the first to have that in the world. So that's great. A portfolio management tool that you can make and build your watch list, and your watch list is going to have all the stocks you put in it. It's going to tell you graphically which one of your stocks are hedging higher, which one of your stocks are hedging lower based on criteria. So you can rebalance your own portfolio based on, you might have one of the stocks graphically shown as red because it broke through hedge pressure. Should you go underweight that and maybe overweight something else? Are you keeping TradingView for this? You mean for our charting module? Yeah. So like for now, we sourced TradingView as a white label for many of these features that we just don't need to go design ourselves. Our tech is the algorithm, the scanner, all the stuff I'm describing now that we're building on our own on the side. DOM and watch list and charts and all that basic stuff. It's better to just buy it than to make it from scratch. And TradingView comes with so many cool functions and features. It's a no-brainer just to pay for that instead of us creating all that. So yeah, you'll be able to do like your own Pine script indicators. We'll have a marketplace inside of our platform. You can sell your own indicators to people. I mean, it's all kind of flexibility that we can do everything here. So backtester, portfolio manager, trade planner is going to be like basically a spreadsheet mixed with a chart. Trade planner will have you can calculate risk and reward. I'll show you in a second, Ed. You can they like a box. You can put it here. A box. You can put it there. You're connected to your brokerage account. You can say if I buy 5 and sell 5 and then stop 5, this is your risk to reward. This is the percent of your account you're risking. Yada yada, and you can set rules for yourself. And the rules are going to be like, I only want to lose 10% of my account in trade. And the rules are, I don't have a margin call. Yada yada. You can program your rules. Trade Planner will look at your account that you're logged into it and give you warnings that you're breaking your own rules. Right? You'll be able to set a little bit of AI built into a trade planner tool to allow you to calculate risk and reward in real time and the probability of your trade taking off based on historic empirical moves based on similar things, catalysts, same VIX, yada yada. Automated playbook, which would be the arrows and lines drawn on the chart. Strategy, I think this is mislabeled as scanner strategies. So that's the whole thing, and this is doomsday. So these are the things that are coming soon, and they're just listed there, but they'll come out as indicators on the chart. So index in Netflix really quick. But yeah, so we will be. We decided as a company to do the feasibility to pursue actual trading on top of everything else. So that is going to be the precursor to all the other things that come out. And so excited to see what the feasibility of that will be. Netflix BSU right here. Hedge pressure to hedge pressure bounce. So I'm looking for a 240 adherence. So in Netflix, I wouldn't do anything. I would wait personally if I were to buy this and maintain bull structure to trade to there. So that's a pretty decent setup. Again, BSU, little V-shaped scalps. Not breakout range yet, but it's looking pretty okay. I'm liking this. Okay. If you guys have any questions for us, make sure you go to Rocket Scooter. In what condition does that happen? Hold on. Resilience is for half gap, not for hedge. So, in what condition, you're talking about for resilience, right? Okay. So in what condition does SPY sell off first while resiliences are greater than 0? In the condition that SPY is being traded faster than the stocks. It is rare that you'll see that. Typically the stocks will move and the index will track the stock, but as you see, the way resilience is showing you is that people are selling SPY first while the stocks are holding the fort. So because of it, a move like this, it has to do with somebody dumping their index SPY itself rather than the SPY is tracking the stocks that they're selling. So in this particular sense, it's one of those rare oddities that SPY is selling faster than the stock. So this tells me that this is a dip to buy as long as resilience is greater than 0. So on this little dip here, this little volume break that you see, let me go to a 1 minute chart to get a little more granularity there. Right here. You can see that with resilience greater than 0, this is a long up on SPY, 100%. So right now, this is as I close some SPY, if resilience is greater than 0, and if we don't fill that gap right in here, I'm going to accumulate SPY just to retap and hold and keep going. So small risk from here to here. Reward would be resistance there and possibly a break. So let's look at this. SPY. The same ones that I sold. Let's see what my orders were. So when I dumped that SPY, I sold them at $4 and some change. Were they trading it now? $3.50? Okay. $2.44. Okay, good. Great question, right? So what you're seeing is that there's an arbitrage that you're noticing, which is good to see an arbitrage trade. If SPY fills its gap, I'm going to long SPY Srini. Does that make sense? Right now. As a matter of fact, right now. I'm glad I'm waiting. I'm just going to do a little scalp today, and we'll get out of here. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. You're at $3. Okay. Okay, so on the SPY gap fill, I went and grabbed the same ones I sold today. The ones I sold right here, I went ahead and grabbed just a little bit more. for that same strike, 375 for like 3 weeks out. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. I'm gonna go enjoy my day and have some breakfast, but I love you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Just keep an eye out. If resilience gets less than 0, then the return is only to 371. So this is good. I wanted to see this. I hope we don't flush fully, but closing the gap, I want to see what happens here. My stop on this is going to be, let me go back to, like I said, I'm swinging this, so it's not a day trade. Nvidia, I'm swinging to there for a month out. SPY, let's look at some retracement levels. Let's see what we're looking at here. Like I said, I think that futures gap is going to fill. So in eyeballing this today, if we lose 37 and lower, I'll probably close out the SPY. I'm trying to build just a bet that we stay bullish on my thesis, so we'll see how that works. Let me double check VIX really quick. Let me find some red lines and yellow lines. Let's put this double SPYs here. We took a nice little yellow line too at 38.12, so I'm still in the boat that this should go here. Even if, whatever day we get, market's still okay, that should be fine. So, okay, yeah. So like I said, if we fill this gap and trade lower, I'm out, and I'll just call it a day. But I am looking for this strike for 3 weeks away. I think we're fine because resilience is greater than 0, so we'll see how it works. Like I said, this is a little overshoot, a nice little dip to fill the gap, and res is greater than 0. So keep your eyes on res today, right? Res is greater than 0, then we are back up above there. Okay, we'll see y'all tomorrow.